What's going on, everyone? Designedcoma here. Welcome back. And the gameplay you're watching is me playing some, get this, here we go, hardcore domination. Yes, you heard it right, hardcore mode. I played some hardcore last week a little bit, not too much. I played about 3 matches. It's about really all I had time for last week. Last week was just super crazy busy for me. But aside from the fact that I was super crazy busy and I got 3 hardcore matches in, I actually really enjoyed playing hardcore mode. I've always been a little bit intimidated by it for some reason. I guess I had this idea that everybody who's in there playing hardcore are just really, really good. And I have to say, it honestly wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It really wasn't. I came across people in there with a slightly higher skill level, I guess if you could say it, than you would find in the core mode. The thing I really enjoyed most about the hardcore was it didn't take like 6 bullets to kill somebody. It was just a couple and boom, they're down. It just felt better, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna keep playing it. I'm gonna keep trying it out. I used to always be a core mode player. Of course, there's still some game modes that I won't be able to find in hardcore that are in core, but aside from that, I really enjoyed it. So where have I been? I know it's been like what, a week? It's been like a week since I've uploaded a video. Well, last week was just crazy nuts busy. Every time it came down to the point where I was getting ready to go do a video, I was just exhausted, just thoroughly exhausted. I had to take my son to a college prep thing for U of M that U of M was holding and we were signed up for. My wife was sick, so I had to take him. And on top of work, I'm also a captain for the small group of people that I help mentor for marathon training with the large team that our church has. So I mentor some people and I help them with training and questions and things of that nature. And it's just been really busy. And unfortunately, I just never ended up with the time to be able to get some videos uploaded. So I completed a 20-mile training run on Saturday. Is that crazy or what? It's not my first one. It's probably the 3rd 20-mile training run I've ever done. And this is my 3rd marathon. That's kind of where things were last week. I'm back. Things are good. And you're going to find some uploads this week, which is great. Marathon is coming up. It's only 3 weeks away. It's crazy to think about. It's 3 weeks away. So I'm really excited. I'm always excited for the marathon. I know it sounds crazy. Why are you excited for running a marathon? It's fun. I mean, it is fun. I know it sounds off the wall nuts to hear somebody say it's fun to run a marathon, but it's really cool. I mean, it's exciting. They really get you pumped up. It's just a blast. It really is. If you're ever interested in running marathons, I mean, certainly check it out, but you really, really do need to find a really good training plan and follow that plan and prepare for it. You don't want to just get up one day and decide to run a marathon. It's just crazy. So what am I going to talk about? Well, aside from all of that stuff, I want to talk about something that happened at work today. Normally I don't like to talk about work, but this is really something interesting, and it has to do with owning up to mistakes. Here's the thing, when it comes to moving up in the company that I work for, I work in IT, I'm not going to say what the company is, but the company I work for, we have these progressions to move up, and we have forms to fill out. We have to kind of show evidence of our work and new things that we've learned, new skills we've learned, new technologies we've learned, things like that. So I fill out the form, and this was turned in during the 2nd quarter during the year. And unfortunately, I turned it in a day late, not realizing that I had gotten an email telling me what the deadline date for turn-in was. So I missed it by a day, which was a little upsetting, mostly for me. Unfortunately, they weren't going to do anything with it. I had to wait until this quarter, the quarter that we just finished up, the 3rd quarter. Now, my manager told me, well, it'll be submitted for the next quarter. Okay, cool, no problem. My fault. I didn't get in on time. Whatever. I'll deal with it. It really stinks, but okay. So I inquire about it Friday, and he never got back to me. Today I inquire about it again, and of course he's just, really busy because of all the other progression forms that he's going through. I get back to him near the end of the day, and I'm like, hey, did you have time to check to see if mine was submitted? He comes back and says, well, it wasn't, because it wasn't in on time. I was like, wait a minute, hold on a minute. So I responded politely. I didn't go crazy off the wall, and this is really where it's key. Now, I can tell you, in some situations, at least in my past, in my early years, I probably would have gone ballistic. I probably would have blown a top, went off the rails, started yelling and screaming, but I wasn't going to do that. So what I did is I just simply said, well, that is disappointing because, and I started to explain and tell him about the time that I turned it in late in the second quarter. Now, the good thing is I did have email evidence of this conversation, which is what's probably going to really help, at least in my favor anyway. But here's the thing. You always think in your mind that, oh great, my manager's just gonna say, well, too bad, so sad, whatever, it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna get turned in, there's nothing I can do. Instead, this is what he said. He said, well, if I made a mistake, I'm sorry, I will talk with HR and I'll see what I can do to get this turned in for you, and hopefully we'll get it taken care of. And I was like, okay, cool, great, that's, thanks, that's awesome, I'm happy to hear that you're willing to do that. I also asked if he wanted the email, and at first he was like, no, don't forward me the email, I don't really need it. And then instead he was like, no, wait, yeah, send it to me. So I forwarded it to him, and this is where what I'm talking about, owning up to the mistakes you made. I know a lot of times when we're growing up, we don't want to own up to any mistakes because, we don't want to get in trouble, right? We don't want to get in trouble as kids. But this is where it's really important, and I try to raise my kids the same way, is to own up to a mistake you made, because it's better to own up to it and have somebody respect you for owning up to that mistake instead of trying to cover it up and hide it and just kind of brush it under the rug and hope everything goes away. That's really where it's at. And I think if we raised more of our kids this way, and I'm not saying everybody's not doing this, but owning up to mistakes is really something that I really wish they would teach in school, but they don't, unfortunately. I don't know, maybe they do. It's been a long time since I've been in school, so I don't really know. I think it really comes from the parents. I really do believe it needs to come from the parents, and that's exactly what I try to do. I try to make sure my kids own up to mistakes they made, and a lot of times they get caught in lies. I'm not saying my kids haven't lied before, and they do get caught, and they turn around and they flat out tell us the truth and they own up to it. And I give them the respect for that, but it's not like there's no consequence for the fact that they did lie, because there has to be a consequence for that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give it a like, favorite, subscribe. Sorry it's been so long. It's going to be a little bit better now. Things are winding down training wise, so I'm going to have a little bit more free time now. So again, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.